Welcome to Your Inspired Journey. I'm Carla Andrews, and I'm here with Ming Shelby. She is a podcaster, a speaker, and definitely an educator. And she's here to help us get elevated with the information that she's going to share with us today. So I look forward to learning as well as you. Let's welcome Ming to Your Inspired Journey. Hey, Ming, how are you?
Hey, Carla. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Look, we had too much fun last time, so we had to do this again.
For
So
sure.
So definitely, I mean, I'm excited to introduce you to the world and just share a little bit about who you are. How did you get to this point of being this phenomenal person?
Oh, Carla, thank you so much. What a great introduction. So, it started on my year of courage. I started it in 2018. I don't know if anyone has ever felt this, just a little bit unfulfilled and you were looking for more. And so, I chose that year of courage because I really wanted to start using my voice to speak up in the organization when I wasn't really agreeing with things or I had other ideas or I wanted to continue to move the organization forward. And when you choose courage, the universe grants that and gives you a lot of opportunities to courage up. And so there were moments where I was sitting at a table and I'm like, oh, I have this idea. Do I share it now or do I not? And then I'm like, it's time to courage up. Go for it. So I would contribute my idea. And as I was going through that year of courage, I was really looking for external validation. Like I really wanted my supervisors, the supervisor of my supervisors to acknowledge me and notice the work that I was doing because I wasn't really feeling valued. And through that, what I really discovered, Carla, was that seeking external validation is just another way out, right? And that my year of
Yeah.
courage really turned into that internal validation of seeking from myself that who I am and what I contribute and bring to this world is good enough. So that is really what propelled me on the start of my journey of self-discovery. And I was working in personal development for quite a few years before that, but it just feels really good to be able to say, this is who I am, and I'm proud of who I am.
Oh my God. And I know we were talking about because this is so juicy, Mink, because I know you were sharing with me that you're coming up with a journal and it's like the a year of courage journal. Can you share a little bit about that? Because I think a lot of people could use that to get that 1 year of courage to get them going for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, so it's just different. Each month is something different to focus on, right? Like, where do you need courage now in your time? And it could be something as small of like courage in my relationship, of what is something that I've wanted to talk to my partner about. It could be courage in parenting. So it was just a different monthly focus so that when we think of courage, it could be like this huge thing. And then it almost becomes debilitating. Like, where do I even start? Right. And if we break it down into smaller things of what's one thing that I want to be more courageous with, and then just take one little step to achieving that, you can achieve so much with 100 little steps. And not saying it takes 100, but
Wow.
right, instead of making it so big.
And that's, I mean, that would be so, fantastic because like you said, you don't want to eat an elephant in one bite. It's taking those little chunks and breaking it down to, sizable, feasible, accomplishable tasks to be able to see yourself. I can only imagine a person look after using that planner after a year and say, "Oh my God, look how much I've accomplished," and actually have a record of that, and then be able to say, "Thank you, Ming. Thank you for helping me."
Carla,
For
you know what?
support.
Exactly what you said. It's amazing when you look back at where you were a year from now. I mean, a year from now, a year ago at this point, I was so unsure of what I was going to do with my life. And then now I have a podcast, I have a really great job, I have great friends like you, Carla. It's just amazing. So exactly like what you said, that look back is so important.
I love it. And so I know you've taken the path of educate as an educator. If you could kind of expand a little bit more about that, because I know you took the courage, be able to speak up, right? To bring your voice up instead of being a whisper, to be a voice. And obviously, ta-da, here you are. But you how did you take that and transfer it into you educating others, right, about to speak up and gaining that courage to change their life, literally?
Carla, I love this question. So, from when I was little, I loved helping other kids. That was just a gift that I had of interacting with other kids. In preschool, I was an older kid, so I would help the 3-year-olds that needed support. The teachers always helped me, and I just knew that I really wanted to be a teacher. And so, what was great is that when I first started teaching kindergarten, first grade, multi age, I really wanted kids to use their voice. Even though they're 5 or 6, I wanted them to use their voice in the classroom and create opportunities for that. And as I've been going, so working with kids to working with adults, one of my most favorite things is having one-on-one conversations with adults and saying, what do you really want out of your life? What is a goal that you really want to go for? And oftentimes people get a little shy and they're like, well, I don't really know. But after a little bit more digging, people like they know, like it's there. And just coaching them through and having that conversation of what would that first step look like to take courageous action, and just coaching them through that is such a fulfilling feeling. I know you know it too. You know what that feels like when people are just taking those tiny steps towards their goal and you're like, yes, you're doing
Yes,
it. Keep going. Like,
yes.
I
Yeah.
feel like part of being a courageous educator and a coach is that I'm your number one hype girl. Like, I will be there and support you and help you do whatever you can. And it's just such a rewarding feeling.
So do you only focus, like, your clients, are they mainly educators
I,
or
well,
anyone?
yep, I work mostly with educators and how to build courageous classrooms. And then I do work with people outside of education as they're starting their entrepreneur journey, because being an entrepreneur is very courageous, right? Like,
Yes,
you're not,
yes.
you're the boss, you're the marketer, you're the promoter, you're the editor, you're everything rolled into once. And so when all of that is on you, you're like, ugh, like, where do I start? And so it's about taking that courageous action.
And I loved how you mentioned how some people see you as like the courageous educator. The courage, I mean, that in itself says a lot. The courageous educator. How do you take that? How do you take that, that people see you in that light?
I mean, it took me a long time to get here. And of course, Carla, there's moments of fear and self-doubt
Mm.
and being a little sheepish, like, oh, is that really who I am?